Hey everybody, happy Friday. I thought about opening by singing happy birthday to myself, but then I thought that would just be too much punishment for everybody. So I won't do that. Hey, if you're new, I'm Carolyn with Swan City Yarns. And yes, today is my birthday. It's my 51st birthday, right? I tend to age myself. I don't know why I've always done that. Before I was 50, I thought I was 50, and I don't know. Maybe I guess I don't really pay attention to birthdays all that much. I really do think it's just a number. You are what you are. You either live like you're in your 30s when you're in your, I don't know, 50s or 60s, or you live like you're 80 years old when you're only 30. So it's up to you. And of course, there are other factors that come into play. But anyway, so I am so glad to be here with you all. When I was like, "Ooh, my birthday is on Friday," I was very excited about that because y'all are some of my favorite people, as I said to Linda. And yeah, who else? Who better to spend my birthday with? So yeah. Anyway, how are y'all? I hope you're doing good. I saw that Laura is stuck at the DMV without her knitting. Ouch. Thank you, Katie. I appreciate it. And everybody who has commented or posted or responded to the newsletter or anything and said happy birthday, I really appreciate it. If I missed it or somehow didn't respond, I apologize. And I thank you so much for your happy tidings. Hello, Katrin and Everdina. Oh, thank you very much. Wealth and happiness are always a good thing, and health, yes, always very good. And let's see, Liz. Hello, Liz. Hey, Carol. Thank you. Valera is here. And let's see, Barbara is here and Tish. Very good. I'm glad y'all are here. Young and I don't mind being called that. Hey, Deborah Sue. And am I saying it right? And Vita, thank you very much for the happy birthday. And still a mirror, babe. Hey, I'll take it. Hey, Jean, thank you. And Lonnie is here. Thank you very much. You all are so kind. Karen is here. How you doing, Karen? Are you recovering? Hey, Mary Ellen, I'm so glad you're here. Mary Ellen is just, well, I don't, unless she's out of town or something. She's just a hop, skip, and a jump away from me over in St. Pete. And Billy is here. Hey, Billy, glad to have you. Last time you went to the license brand, I'm guessing same as our DMV, right? Fastest ever, 15 minutes for a real ID. Ooh. Yeah, if we make an appointment here, I don't know. Am I thinking of the DMV? I might not be thinking of the DMV. Where I got my real ID, it was very fast because I had an appointment. But I don't know if that was the DMV. I think it is. Yeah. It was where both Connor and Morgan got their driver's licenses. So obviously, forgive me, I get a birthday, I get all ditzy. Hello, Jana. Diane is here. Susan, glad y'all are here. Thank you for joining me today. I think did I see? I thought I saw Kim on here. Anyway, I did see Kim. There she is. Hey, Kim. If I missed you, then welcome. And for everyone who watches later, welcome. So let's get started, shall we? I was thinking of you all this week because how many of you remember Three Pines? Do y'all remember that show? And I want to say it was one of you. I think we did a mystery box or something. I know I dyed a colorway for it. And one of you all said something about it being based on a book series. And so I went and bought the first book by Louise Penny called Still Life. But it ended up in my TBR pile. I didn't read it. And this past week on Monday, y'all know Monday was Memorial Day and Bo had the day off. I worked a little bit first thing and then Bo was like, hey, you want to go get a coffee? And obviously, in the coffee shop we went to, Unfiltered in Bartow, has a bookshop, a used bookshop right above it now called Inklings. And I'm like, yes, you don't have to ask me twice. I want to go. So we went, and I fully was not intending to buy any books because my TBR piles they're all over. I've got some underneath the couch, the table ends. I've got a couple stacks. My bedside table, literally, I can't even put anything on it anymore because I've got stacks there on top of my cabinet. I've got like 2 stacks. Like, it's just getting out of control because Bo is so good to me. Every time we're near a used bookstore, he's like, oh, there's a used bookstore, or there's a bookstore in general. So I just get piles and piles. But I happened to see this book on the table. And I don't know how y'all choose books that you read, but I typically will read the back, the little summary or synopsis that they have on the back. And then I don't typically go to the front of the book. I'm sure I have, but the front of the book, like the opener, isn't always I don't think the best feel for the book because it's kind of like the beginning of an essay. There's usually an attention grabber of some sort. And so sometimes it can be, something really dark happening or, just something tragic. And so I will usually open up the book somewhere in the middle and just read, a little bit. And just the feel that I get from the way the author writes, if it's an author I don't know. I mean, there are some authors I know I'm going to like it, Sandra Brown, Linda Howard. If they write a book, I just buy it. But this one, I don't think I made the connection until I opened it. I don't even remember when I made the connection that it was a Three Pines book. I definitely didn't remember that I had the first book in the series. I'll admit that, because I bought this one thinking, oh, that actually looks good. And so I got it home, started reading it. And I think that must have been when I realized, oh, it's the Three Pines series. And there was a relationship happening in the book that I was like, okay, this is not the beginning of this relationship. I need to know how it started. So of course I go to the computer, I start looking it up, and I realize, yep, I have the first book in the series. So I went and found it. And I read it. Yes, I've already finished it this week. For some of y'all, that's nothing, I know. I'm a pretty fast reader once I get into something. And I was dead set on getting this book done. So I read it. I finished it. And then I just got the second book yesterday. So I ordered it. So here it is. And if you all, I know some of y'all have read it. You're probably way ahead of me. There's apparently like 20 books in the series. I think, is she still writing them? It seems to me when I looked it up, the 20th book is a pretty new release. I could be wrong about that. Some of y'all probably are way ahead of me, have read them all. But if you haven't, and you like a good mystery book, then I definitely obviously recommend it. I don't know that I'll read all of them. I am kind of curious, the relationship that I was talking about, I'm kind of curious how it comes to pass. I didn't remember in the first book, Still Life, I didn't remember that being a subject on the TV show, like that setting for a murder, but I do recognize the murder in the second book, A Fatal Grace. It was definitely one of the episodes of Three Pines. My memory is a little iffy about the show. I mean, I remember the main character and all that, but besides that, I don't really remember. For all I know, was it like 3 episodes or something like that? For all I know, all of them centered around the same murder. I don't think they did, though. I think weren't they like 3 separate murders? Anyway, this is a good book, good series, good book. Yeah, and I'm enjoying it. So if you have thought about reading it, and you haven't, then I highly recommend it. Very much so. Let's see. Sorry, I got lost on the comments. Oh, she's your best friend's favorite mystery writer. I love that. Yeah, she's very good. And I have to say, to me, if you're a mystery writer, like how they reveal the clues and what's going on, to me, that's just amazing. I wish I could do that. And she has a good way of making it's a mystery. And so there are some certain, darker tones to it, but it's still also a very cozy. I saw her in an interview because I was looking up how to pronounce one of the names, and she said that she basically set up an environment or a village initially that she would feel comfortable with. I get the sense that they obviously leave Three Pines. The series leaves Three Pines at some point, and they solve murders elsewhere. But the first two both take place in the community of Three Pines. So, yeah. Yeah, Liz, you definitely need to. I know we need to have a read along. Oh, Carol, you have it on your book, your shelf too. Well, let's get to it. I'm already ahead of you now. I might have to bring back that color. If I remember right, it was a nice foresty green, but it had some other colors coming into it. I might have to go look at the recipe and see what it was. But anyway, yeah, I highly recommend it. Plus, yeah, it just, I don't know, it has all the, it's hard for, I'm not always good at describing all the things, like doing a book review, but it definitely has kept my interest. And you learn new words if you're somebody who likes to learn new words and things like that. Definitely. There's some French in there because Three Pines is in Quebec. So yeah, it's very good. Let's see, the Library of Lost Dollhouses. I think I saw that recommended somewhere. Yeah. And I have to check that one out. All right, moving on. Let's get to the heart of the business of what we're here for. So y'all remember this from last week. These are the star stitch markers that I'm giving away. And I did go through the comments. Woo! I love it. Lots of comments. And I picked a winner. The winner is, you know what I mean. Random processes being what they are. The winner was chosen. Dun, dun, dun. Liz Green is the winner of these stitch markers. So there you go. So Liz, I think I have you in my system, but if I don't, I'll let you know. And I'll get those shipped out to you. All right, what else? Let's see. The May Fiber Challenge is not over. All right, I'm letting this one go. You can post all the way up until next Friday. Obviously, you can post your projects anytime, but if you're specifically posting a summer top, then you can still post anywhere through next Friday morning, because I will pick the winner next Friday morning before the live. And then the winner will receive these two lovely skeins of Birds of a Feather, one on fluffy lace and one on fluffy sock. So I haven't not picked the prize yet for June. June is, some of y'all are already posting, and I love it so much. You can, so far this year, I think all of our hashtags are going to be SCS, whatever month it is, challenge. So, yeah, if you want to go back to your any posts that you've done of you knitting in public the last couple days, you're welcome to add that hashtag. This is the graphic that you'll see in the Swan City Stitchers Facebook group. So if you want to post in the thread, then that's what you'll look for. And it has the rules. But essentially, like the others, this one is not a specific project. You can knit or crochet or spin or weave or whatever it is that you like to do. Any stitching or working with fiber that you like, you can, as long as you're doing it in a public setting of some kind, then it counts. And you don't have to use Swan City yarn or fiber. You can use any that you like. Yeah. And then that one, I'm going to post, or I'm going to announce the winner. Oh, I don't have the date. I think I put it in the post. It will be that last Friday in June is when I will post it. Hey, Angie, over on Instagram, love Louise Penny. Oh, you didn't know there was a, oh, Angie. Well, I say that if you're one of those people that doesn't like to have a book ruined, you might not like it, but there's a show called Three Pines on, isn't it on Amazon? It may not be. Well, no, it should be. I don't know. Do a search and you'll find it. It's a really good show. They did a really nice job on it. But again, my memory, I just remember that part of it. My memory of specific details as to how far off or away from the books they got, I don't know. I don't remember that part because I hadn't read the book yet, which is kind of how I prefer it. I think some people like to read the book first. I actually prefer to watch the TV show or the movie, and then I go read the books because I know they're going to have they have to change things. You know what I mean? That's just how it is. Because they don't have enough time to put all the elements into the show or the movie, right? Okay. So announcements, no strings attached. And Kisses Are Delicious. The last of those are shipping today, those pre-orders, unless, of course, you are someone who has asked me to hold your orders, then I have yours. But if you are not that person and you know who you are, if so, then those are going out today. Nesting, that pre-order, I'll be dyeing up the first part of next week, and so they'll go out sometime next week. And let's see, Emily Henry, Carol, I don't think I'm familiar with her. Okay, I'll have to check her out. Very interesting. Emily Henry. Sorry, I was reading Jana's comment. I love it. That's awesome, Jana. Are you done with school yet? Let's see. I know you we were talking and you told me when you were done, but I was thinking you should be done, right? Let me write this down. Emily Henry, sorry. I'm getting distracted. Okay. Moving right along. So speaking of the fiber challenges, I want to show you the Swan projects. Oh, awesome. Jana, you're done. Yay for summer. Oh, rom-com beach reads. You know, that reminds me, and I can't think of her name. There's another one that does that. Romantic comedy beach reads. I haven't read her in a while. So yeah, I probably will like that. That sounds like it's right up my alley. I like it. Okay. So first of all, this is not a summer top. Let me show you these excellent projects. This one is Anne. Did I show this one already? I got distracted or confused. I don't think I've shown this one yet. This is Anne, another fabulous, fabulous pair of socks. The main colorway there is Sprinkles and then Stargazer and Neon Moon and Go Big or Go Home. Why am I having deja vu? Did I show these last week? Well, if I did, they are so awesome. They are worth showing again. Let me just tell you. Okay. And then Anne also finished her Fiorellino that she made in peach tea. And I don't know if you can see it there. It's a little bit hidden by the blocking mats. And it looks like my cropping job may have done it as well. But she's got bottle green on the edges there on her cuff. And I can't tell if it's down at the bottom too, maybe. Anyway, it looks splendiferous. I love it. There were also, I noticed Anne was posting, I think she posted this morning, a couple pictures that I didn't get whip pics made of, but they will be happening next week. She is at the top of her knitting game right now. Thank you very much. Cheryl Guin has, if y'all remember, This Is Bright. She's doing on sparkly sock for her granddaughter. And she has split for the sleeves and is now working on the body. You and I are we're in very similar places. She's probably beyond that now. And then Laura is moving right along on her extra light bright. I don't know what the new colors are down there, but I thought I'd show y'all. This is a fabulous, fabulous example of a speckled fade that she's got going on here. I absolutely love it. Very nicely done. And then Angie posted hers. Hey, Cindy. Sorry, I just happened to remember to pop over, look at Instagram. Glad you're here. This is Angie's socks that she is making with Hidden Gem. And I gotta say, I didn't realize, I know I should know this. She's making a pair of shorty socks out of her monthly mini color club, Hidden Gem. I love how that is knitting up. And I didn't realize there was enough yarn to do a pair of shorties in those. So fantastic. I love it very much, Angie. Thank you for sharing those with us. Angie's going to Scotland, by the way, so you all know. You can be jealous along right along with me. This is Everdina's Fiorellino. She said, am I there yet? Nope, not yet. I know it gets to a point and it feels like that, but she might be there by now. I don't know. But this is Purple Leaf Plum, and it is looking mighty fine. I love, look at those tonal variations in there. Angie says you got to have short feet. Hey, whatever it takes. And then Teresa is making slow but steady progress on her summer top. I forget the colorway that Teresa's using. I don't remember. I'm sorry, Teresa. I should probably know that. I know you've said it at some point, but I don't remember. So, and then this one, Barbara sent me on Messenger. She has Purple Leaf Plum in there, and she also has Bottle Green. And that is called she told me it's called the Mini Solutions Scarf. And she said that she's modified it somewhat. So I don't have the details on that, but it kind of looks like the shape of a scarf that I would like for sure. And then Erica says this is her, oh gosh, the Lizzie sweater. That's the name of it. And she's using the Stargazer and sprinkles. She says the body is knitting up so fast. She thinks it's because of the awesome yarn. Well, I certainly concur. And then Cindy says, oh, may not work for my size 9s. Yeah, using a mini skein for a pair of shorty socks may not work. You could use it as part of the color work. But yeah, I know. I understand. I have size 8, and I'm not sure that they would work for me either. All right. Mary Ellen is all but done with her Fiorellino. She is using the colorway Vintage. And again, look at those tonal changes or shifts in that shirt. I love it so much. That looks awesome. Y'all are doing amazing. And again, I think, like I said, there were a couple of pictures posted this morning that I just didn't have time to grab. So I will show those next week. Thank you, Emily. Emily from Crochet Away is here. And, oh, Barbara, you just added a few mid-section eyelet rows. Oh, that's smart. So easy enough for anybody to do. I like that. Very nice. Yeah, that's a good way to modify any shawl pattern, a simple shawl pattern. For me anyway. I'm sure some people could modify theirs much more than that, but not I. I tend to follow patterns pretty. I'm trying to think about that. I don't know. Sometimes I modify things. Anyway, let me show you where I am at on my Fiorellino. Oops, I'm losing my yarn. I'm almost done with my first cake. And I have indeed split for the sleeves. I think that is the front. So I tried it on before I split because I wanted to make sure that, because you all remember the gauge issue that I had. Basically, my gauge swatch was null and void, and I didn't care enough to try it again. So I tried this on, and it looks like it's not fitting there. I don't know, did I grow overnight? But when I tried it on, it actually did. It fit very nicely. Seemed to have the perfect amount of ease so far. So now that I've split for the sleeves, I'll knit for a couple of inches, and then I'll try it on again, just to kind of see where I'm at and make sure everything is the way that it should be. So yeah. And then after that, I need to show y'all what I want to make next. But I'm already planning my next summer top. But in the meantime, y'all know, so a week from today, no, not from today, a week from tomorrow, I will be at Knit and Stitch Boutique doing a trunk show. If you're local, please come see me. And then I'm also teaching class. I don't know where it stands. There might still be some openings in the class if you're curious about working with hand-dyed yarns. I'll mainly be focusing on what to do with those wild and crazy skeins. I say wild and crazy. They don't have to be wild and crazy, but like any yarn that has a color repeat to it, because there are some little idiosyncrasies. And some of you, just from years of knitting, have probably figured out those idiosyncrasies on your own and by working with different patterns. But if you're not, or you have some skeins that you're like, I just don't know what to do with this, then that's what I'll be focusing on in the class. So anyway, the link for that, you can, if you scroll down on my website, there's a link that takes you to the Knit and Stitch page, which is where you sign up for the class. But because of that class, I'm working on some samples, and this is one of them. So y'all remember last week I did Fat Tuesday. I showed you let me grab it here. The Fat Tuesday Stay Toasty scarf. The name of the pattern is Stay Toasty, but I did it in the Fat Tuesday colorway. And then this is it's just a tube that I knit that I'm going to use in the class. I'm not going to tell you about it now because that's the point of the class. And then and that's done on DK. And then I had some fingering left over from, if y'all remember, the socks that I knit for my sister-in-law. I forget the name of the socks. Anyway, they've already been gifted and sent off, but I used fingering weight Fat Tuesday in that. And so now I'm knitting up another fingering sample in that. So I have a couple more little samples that I need to knit up for the class because I want to show them some things. So yeah, so that's what I've been working on. And the good thing about it is that, you know, when you're just knitting stockinette like this, I did this yesterday in just a couple of hours. Super fast. Makes me feel so accomplished. I might have to make a Ravelry page for my little sample knits, you know, so it helped me meet my challenge of the year. All right. So speaking of Knit and Stitch, by the way, hey, Sharon, thank you so much. I'm glad that you're here. Hey, Cindy, glad you're here as well. And then Cindy Nicholas says, you've been stuck in limbo for a couple months with your knitting. Oh, no. I hate it when that happens. Yeah, sometimes I don't know what the answer is. I know for me, sometimes if I just force myself, I say, you know, okay, I'm going to do 10 minutes. I don't feel like it today, so I'm going to make myself do 10 minutes. And then if I still don't feel like it, then I will put it up. And if I do change, then I can keep on knitting. And usually for me, I will keep on knitting. Not always. Sometimes nope, I'm done. I'm going to go read my book. So that's what I do. Anyway, speaking of Knit and Stitch Boutique, I showed y'all last week the gradient that I dyed up. I think I still have it on here. Yep, here it is. This is a gradient called Midsummer. It goes from spruce. You can see over there on the right is kind of dark, but that's a spruce green. It goes into a Hiberna blue and then a deep mauvey, purplish mauve color there on the left. And they have it on Preorder again, and I'm getting those dyed up for her for it. They're raising money. It's the longest day of the year project. It's a collaboration she's doing with Ann Budd, and I believe a certain amount of money gets donated to Alzheimer's. That sound right? Sounds right to me. It's going for a good cause, put it that way. So anyway, that is on the front page of their website again. And I think last week she said someone had an issue with the link, but it is up and working again. So you can still get your pre-order in for that. And then the big news, of course, I posted it. I sent it out in the newsletter. If you don't know, I'm telling you now, all day today, because today my birthday falls on Friday, I thought, why not do, y'all have been such a blessing to me. Why not give something to you? And so 20% off your online yarn purchase all day today. You can just use the code birthday, all lowercase, in the checkout. You do have to go. I noticed that you have to go to the checkout first and enter that. But then if you want to use a different, one of the faster methods like PayPal, that's the one I always go for, PayPal. So if whichever of those that you want to use, you can use that after you've entered your discount code. So yeah, just enter that first, and then you can use whatever payment method you want. So yeah, gosh, is that it? I feel like I'm forgetting something. I don't know. Am I? I'm trying to think. So my birth date. Oh, I will. Some of you that have already ordered, I'll be shipping those today. As long as you place your order. Well, the discount is good all day long, but in order to get it shipped out, after I'm done here, I will ship any orders that I have not yet shipped. And then I'll head to the post, and our post closes at 4. So anything placed after I've got these all shipped, they'll just go out first thing Monday. Monday's not a federal holiday, right? I'm not up on all the federal holidays yet. They used to not be my concern. And now they are. And I'm like, oh, wait. So obviously, y'all know if it's a federal holiday, Carolyn can't ship. So it'll go out the next day, right? That was you, Lonnie. Okay, because the button wasn't working. Very good. Well, she said that she's got it fixed. You may already know that. Deb, you have seasons of more of one or the other, but usually take turns daily between knitting and spinning. Yeah, I know you're a big spinner, but obviously you buy enough yarn that you're also a knitter. Okay, Lonnie, thank you so much. June 19th, yes. I probably, and they're on my calendar, except, they put other like holidays and observations on my calendar. So I don't always know if it's a federal holiday. That's the key. I think I need to like have a printout of all the federal holidays, so that I'm up on that. Let's see. Barbara, don't go crazy. I must have missed that one. You never know. Might. And it's a Thursday. That sounds about right. Yes. And then, of course, yep, July 4th. I did know that. All right. And, sometimes I work on a federal holiday. Sometimes I don't. Bo always has off on federal holidays. So you'd think I'd be more up. But like Monday, he had off, and he tells me at the last minute, I think it was on Sunday, he's like, oh, I have off tomorrow. And I'm like, oh, what? Yeah. So I'm not always aware of that. But anyway, so, oh, look at you, Lonnie, spelling them out for me. September. Yeah, okay. September 1st is Labor Day. What's October 13th? I feel like I should know this. Maybe I should shut my mouth because I'm probably throwing myself in the doghouse here because I don't know. I should know the holidays, especially the federal holidays. But I don't. Oh, they have. Thank you, Barbara. The USPS has it on their website. That is probably good to know. Anyway, so if you're interested, you may not care. My birthday, Bo is taking me out for breakfast tomorrow. He would have done it today, but I was like, no, there are things that have to take place on Fridays. And so let's do it Saturday. So we're going to go to breakfast tomorrow. He's going to take me to breakfast. And then we're going to go look at there are some vintage shops around because, I've talked just a tiny bit. Morgan made me my iced coffee today, by the way. She was wonderful. I have been experimenting more and more with iced coffees and matcha lattes, different flavors of matcha lattes this past week. Oh, I made y'all. I was inspired by, I went to the library, and the library now has a coffee shop right next door. I don't remember when this was. It was a couple of weeks ago. And so I bought Morgan. I knew I couldn't have it, but I brought her home a strawberry shortcake matcha latte, and I knew it looked good. So I made my own version of that this week. Heavenly. I just made a strawberry syrup and then mixed in some vanilla And then in my cold foam, I made added vanilla to the cold foam as well. And it tasted like a strawberry shortcake matcha latte. It was so good. Needless to say, because I've been experimenting with more and more drinks, we've been talking about like we need room for this stuff in the kitchen. And so at first we talked about setting up a coffee bar, and Morgan said, well, maybe you should do it on the buffet in the dining room. But Bo and I were talking about it, and he said, do you want to go get something for that? And I was like, well, I'm thinking that because the ice and the water and everything is right there in the kitchen, my coffee bar should actually be on the counter there. And what I need to move is my wine and the liquor stuff that we don't use that much of. I probably drink more wine than anything, but we do have liquor because every once in a while we'll get a wild hair and, we'll make some sort of crazy drink. And then Connor turned 21 recently, so he's been doing a little bit of taste testing here and there. And, he had a rum and Coke a couple weekends ago. I think he was like, what goes good with this? And I said, run up to Publix and get you some Coke and make some rum and Coke. And he enjoyed that. And, but anyway, I feel like I need to get that out. So I said, what I would like is like maybe a vintage cabinet of some sort that either can go in the corner or somewhere in the dining room. And I used to have a wine refrigerator, and I don't know if they've improved, but I know in the past, like you never know if you're going to get a good one or not, or if they're going to be really noisy, which is what happened with the last wine refrigerator I had. It was extremely noisy. It kept Bo up at night. We ended up moving it out to the garage and then eventually getting rid of it. So since then, I've not had a wine refrigerator, or at least with the cheaper wine refrigerators. I'm sure you can get like an industrial nice wine refrigerator, but I don't drink enough wine for that. So anyway, that's what we're going to do. We're going to go shopping for something. And then who knows, maybe I will get one of those little countertop ice machines. I already bought the little trays that make round ice cubes because everybody on TikTok has all these cute ice cubes. And I'm like, ooh, I need that. And Sharon, did you say so many Carolyn friendly places in New York City? Oh, I'm not surprised. Oh, that's right. Are we going to Metro Diner? We have a new Metro Diner here in Lakeland. Okay. Gluten-free toast. I like it. I like it. Yeah, so I have my list of allergies seems to grow all the time. I won't bore you all with them today, but I have to avoid things like gluten, dairy, corn, soy, and those are just more. It's not a life or death. None of them are life or death, but misery awaits. And so, and then some actual allergies that I'll break out for, and nobody wants to put up with me when because then all I do is complain all day long and nobody wants to hear that. So needless to say, that is my plan for the weekend, plus a little bit of dyeing. I've got some dyeing to do. I won't say anything more about that, but just keep in mind. So after June is Christmas in July. I'm so excited. Yes, we must celebrate. Please don't be a Grinch. You have to celebrate with me, okay? It's a plan, all right? Hey, just know, I know that I'm not always eloquent with words, but I know that where you spend your money speaks a lot about your priorities. And I cannot tell you how much I appreciate it that when you choose to spend your money on something that I have created to in turn make your own creations. And then for you to post your beautiful projects, it means the world to me. Every single time I see a new order, I feel it here. And I just appreciate it so much. I appreciate all of you supporting my little business and helping me to support my family. It means the world to me. It really does. So I hope that you all have the best weekend. Whatever it is you're doing, then I hope you do it well and with a good attitude and a happy heart. And I will see you all next time. All right, right here. All right, everybody, take care. Bye.